Good day, everybody. Welcome back to another Rosh Reviews, where today we are in something very special. This is a 2006 Aston Martin Vantage, and this particular one, it is the 4.3 liter V8. We've got the 6-speed manual. The fuse has been pulled, and my goodness, just listen to that noise that this thing produces. Oh, it's good. Now, when we're just looking at this Aston Martin Vantage, hold on. Oh, that's too good. This car, it is been around for quite some time now, because these are actually launched in 2005 and essentially have gone through basically all the way up until 2018 with very minor changes. So they have had facelifts come through and slightly different variants introduced, but it's basically the same car. And when you look at this thing, it still looks so handsome, so modern, even though this particular one, being an 06, it's nearly 16 years old. Now, just coming into some corners in this car, and the brakes just instantly surprise you, because this actually has V12 Vantage brakes fitted. It's also got a V12 Vantage clutch fitted, and the brakes on this car, yeah, you really got to be careful how hard you put your foot down, because it does surprise you. And yeah, stopping this car is not an issue. Weighs about 1.6 ton, and you come around this corner, and it is good. The noise of this car, so it's a naturally aspirated 4.3 liter V8. Puts out about 283 kilowatts, about 410 newton meters. And some of y'all might be saying, well, that doesn't sound like enough, but it feels very healthy, trust me. Oh, man, those brakes. Wow, these brakes, you really pull you up, man. That is insane. Now, like I was mentioning, with some of these different variants you could have got in this car, there were a couple of different engine options as well. So the early cars, like this one, they all basically featured the 4.3 liter naturally aspirated V8, 6-speed manuals, and hey, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. Rear-wheel drive, and with a noise like that, there's a lot to love here. But throughout the years, they did introduce a slightly bigger 4.7 liter V8. You could also go for a V12 Vantage if you wanted to spend a bit more money. And they did actually bring out some F1 style automated manual gearboxes if you wanted to go down that route. But judging by some other reviews I've seen, the manual, it is the way you want. Now, the crazy thing I find with these Aston Martin Vantages is now the price, because originally when these first came out here in Australia, you were going to be paying over $250,000 to be in the seat here. And yeah, that is a huge amount of money. And Aston Martin, it does have that really premium feel to it, the name to it, that supercar level looks, appearance, elegance from the UK here. And it's a desirable car for sure. Nowadays, on the used market though, man, this is really where you can actually pick these up for quite a bargain. They seem to be sitting around that $90,000 to $130,000 for a nice edition of one of these. But if you really do hunt around, you can pick one up for even a little bit less. And for a car like this, under $100,000 in mint condition, in today's market, that's a bargain here in Australia. And when you get in and drive one of these things, look, the seating position, the car really kind of wraps around you, and the bonnet just seems to stretch out for miles. I have previously reviewed Jaguar F-Type, and it kind of gives me a similar vibe in terms of the shape of the car, and it's a really true sports car design. It is, and this thing is sleek, it's sexy, it looks good, and when you're sitting in the driver's seat, it's a really fun car to drive. And being an Aston, you know, being a UK-made car here, we do get some really funny quirks. So obviously, you know, you have your start-stop button right in the center here, which, you know, is kind of a cool feature. Just the leather all on the dash, and you've kind of got even this like metal kind of feeling material in the middle, which gives it a premium feeling. The gauges look cool, you know, your rev counter, you know, climbs the opposite way, which is just unique again. We've got the angel wing doors, which beautiful. Got this beautiful Alcantara headlining that, you know, it just gives it a premium feeling in here. And the great thing with this one, you know, again, is being a little bit of an older one, you know, 2006, there isn't a massive head unit screen, you know, infotainment system in this car. So it really keeps everything less dated and just feeling a lot cleaner, because you've got this nice analog clock in the middle, just a very basic screen here for, you know, your climate controls, and that's it. Everything else is just a really nice button, or it just looks good. Just rolling onto it. She definitely goes, and those brakes, man, gee, it stops you well. And the noise, again, out of this 4.3, it is something magical. And there is something just really rewarding, you know, being in an older kind of, you know, sports car, almost supercar here, with an exhaust like that, rear wheel drive, a 6-speed manual. It is really something special. Now, just on the ride here, it is pretty firm. So, you know, if you are driving on a bit of a rougher back road, which we kind of are today, you will feel the bumps in this car. You will feel the line, road markings, things like that. But in the corners, it feels nice and flat. Got tons of confidence. I feel like I've got a lot of grip in this car as well, even though it's just rear wheel drive. Now, for Top Gear fans like myself, you would have maybe remembered when Jeremy Clarkson first reviewed the Vantage. Oh, wait a minute. He called this the best sounding car of the year, and for very good reason. He also said this was going to be the coolest car of the year, and again, I can definitely see that. But for the true fans who have watched that episode, they actually did give it to the Porsche 911, which really is kind of this car's biggest competitor, and what most people usually compare against this vehicle when they're tossing about buying one. Though you really do see just so many more Porsches than you do Astons, and I think that noise paired with the beauty of this thing and just the rarity, yeah, is the Porsche better? Maybe, but that noise, I'm taking this, I think. The clutch is easy to use. The gearbox is actually really easy. It's quite a short throw, feels nice. And yeah, just again, when you're rolling and you get into the meat of that torque and start building, oh, it's awesome, this car, really is. And again, the steering, it's quite responsive. It's not much vagueness in the middle here. Just handles really well, as you would expect. Yeah, this is a really fun, engaging driver's car. And, you know, in today's modern supercar world where, you know, everything is just dual clutches and you're not changing any gears anymore, you know, you lose a lot of that emotion, and people care about 0 to 100 times and lap times. Man, this car, it's still got that true connection with the driver. With 3 pedals, a manual gearbox, and you gotta actually know what you're doing. And for guys like me, I think that's better. Now this particular Aston Martin Vantage does belong to a good mate of mine, Josh. He does actually run and own Laborde Motorsports here in Perth, WA, and he tunes a lot of different vehicles. That's what he does, his company. I'll plug him here. We'll leave a link for his website. Go check him out if you guys are thinking about tuning anything. He does have some plans for this particular car as well, so I'm really excited to see what he's gonna do with this thing, and we might have to do a part 2 later on. Now, 0 to 100, guys, I'm actually not sure what these were claimed at, but I'm kind of expecting really, like, realistically manual, like probably 6 seconds-ish. So we're just stopping here, we're on a back road, reset the draggy, and see how we go. So I'm gonna build it up to about 3 grand. Go, go, go. So we built it to about 3 grand. It did actually pretty well. It bogged slightly, but again, I don't really want to drop the clutch any higher than that. And man, this thing, it revs out. Like, it really loves the revs in this car. You know, you're revving out to like almost 8,000 here. I think we probably hit about 75 before we tapped the limiter a little bit there, but man, let's see what that time was. Now 0 to 100 was 7.8 seconds, and it felt faster than that to me, honestly, but you gotta try and balance the revs. You know, got another person in the car here on a back road. The car is from 2006, so I think these were actually claimed. We just looked it up here at about 5.5 seconds, somewhere around there, which I don't know if I can see that, but maybe an ideal scenario if you're a pro race car driver. But man, I don't really care how fast this thing does 0 to 100, because the noise of this thing, it's too good. Now I'm gonna finish the video off here today, guys. So look, a huge thank you to Josh from Laborde Motorsports for loaning me out his Aston Martin Vantage here, because this was my first time behind the wheel here today, and this thing didn't disappoint. The 6-speed manual, just that 4.3 liter V8, the noise of this beast, it is a true driver's car. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Hope you learned something. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here, and we'll see you on that next video. Oh yeah.